Hello, hi, welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well let's learn English together. Hello again everyone. Welcome, welcome and welcome. Come in, sit down, kick your shoes off. Well, check that your feet don't smell first. I tell you what, dogs have got very sensitive noses, don't they? So, bear with me here. Ask the dog to smell your feet. Go on. No one's looking. Okay, ask the dog to smell your feet. And now, this is the important part. Watch the dog to see what the dog's reaction is. Now, I know, you're thinking, why can't I just ask the dog if my feet smell, Gav? Well, here's why. Dogs are very loyal animals, aren't they? Yes, and that means that, well, sometimes you can't trust a dog's opinion. I mean, most of the time it's not a problem, but when it comes to asking a dog for its honest opinion, the dog is always trying to please you. So dogs sometimes tell white lies. They don't want to upset you. For example, if you ask your dog what they want to watch on TV, they'll always say, I don't mind. Whatever you want to watch is fine. It makes no odds to me. And this is the thing. They say this even if it's not true. If you give them the choice between watching Doctor Who or Fawlty Towers, they won't state a preference. They'll just say, oh, I don't mind. I like them both, even if they really love Tom Baker. And actually, they can't stand John Cleese. They just won't tell you. That's how blindly loyal dogs are. With dogs, it's always like this. When in truth, this is what the dog is thinking. And you know that the situation is completely different with your cat, don't you? Yes, cats aren't loyal. If you put the wrong program on when your cat is in the room, then you know what to expect, don't you? This. So, obviously, the answer to the problem would be to ask the cat to smell your feet. But then, well, you know that then this'll happen. So yes, cats are more honest. Dogs are very loyal, and that means that sometimes you have to watch a dog's reaction. That's the only way to find out what the dog really thinks. So, back to where we were. Ask your dog to smell your feet and watch their reaction. That way you'll be able to figure out if your feet smell or not. If your dog reacts like this, then don't listen to what the dog says. That reaction tells you all you need to know. Put your shoes back on. All right, now that we've sorted all that out, let's make a start on Tuesday. All right, now yesterday, when we saw those example sentences about the present perfect, we saw that sometimes there is very little difference between the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. Okay, but sometimes there is a difference. If, for example, we look at these two sentences, I've read that book you lent me. I've been reading that book you lent me. Now, the difference between those sentences isn't a big difference, but we can see that in the sentence with the present perfect simple, we're emphasizing the fact that something is finished. I finished the book, so now we can talk about it. The important part of this sentence is that I finished something. With the sentence using the present perfect continuous, we're emphasizing the action itself. We're telling people what we've been doing. I haven't finished it, I'm still reading it, but the completed activity is not important. If we want to talk about how much or how many of something, then we have to be a little bit careful. We can't use the present perfect continuous in these situations. I've drunk 5 cups of coffee this morning. She's drunk 4 litres of vodka so far this evening. I've been drinking 5 cups of coffee this morning. She's been drinking 4 litres of vodka so far this evening. So if we're talking about how much or how many of something, then we can't use the present perfect continuous, only the present perfect simple. One other thing we normally see or detect is that when we're using the present perfect continuous, we can normally see the result. We can see something which indicates what has been going on. My God, your face is red. What have you been doing? I've been running away from a mad pheasant. The kitchen is full of smoke. Have you been cooking again? Yes, I've been cooking all afternoon. I've been painting the living room. Yes, I can see your face is covered in paint. All right, now let's have a look at a couple of sentences to see the difference, or one of the differences, between the simple and continuous forms of the present perfect. Have a look at the following sentence and then decide if we should use the present perfect simple or the present perfect continuous. And yes, I'm feeling kind. So we'll do the first one together. Number 1, my hands are really dirty. A, I've repaired the scooter. B, I've been repairing the scooter. Okay. Now, which one do you think is the better option? Well, look at the first sentence. What is it telling us? It's telling us that my hands are dirty, very dirty, really dirty. Now, it's a result, isn't it? My hands being dirty is the result of something, and that means that the correct sentence is B. My hands are really dirty. I've been repairing the scooter. Okay, now, have a go at the others and then we'll check them together. Number 2, where have you been and why is your face red? A, have you been playing football? B, have you ever played football? Number 3, you look absolutely shattered. A, have you been getting enough sleep? B, have you ever worked overnight? Number 4, Batman's gone on holiday. A, where has he gone? B, where has he been? Number 5, is it still raining? A, no, it's stopped. B, yes, it's been raining. All right, well, how did you get on with those? They weren't hard, were they? No, of course they weren't. All right, let's see the answers. Number 2, where have you been and why is your face red? A, have you been playing football? B, have you ever played football? Right, what about this one? A or B? Well, it's A, isn't it? Yes, someone is looking at your face and they can see that you've been doing something physical. They can see the result of the physical activity. Your face is red. And B? Well, that's a different question altogether. That's asking about life experience. Illogical. Doesn't fit here. Next. Number 3, you look absolutely shattered. A, have you been getting enough sleep? B, have you ever worked overnight? Well, what about this one? Yes, it's practically the same as the last one, isn't it? Once again, we're looking at someone and we can see something. We can see a result. We can see that they look shattered. They look super tired. They look shattered. So, because we can see the result of something, we're going to use the present perfect continuous. A. B is the wrong answer. Once again, B is asking about life experience. Nope, not here. Next. Number 4. Batman's gone on holiday. A, where has he gone? B, where has he been? Okay, a question about Batman. It wouldn't be a good week if there wasn't at least one question about Batman. So, Batman's not here. He's gone somewhere on holiday. Now, here, which one is the correct answer? Yes, it's A, isn't it? Yes, and why is it A and not B? Yes, you remembered. This one isn't to do with whether the simple or continuous form of the present perfect is better. This is all to do with the idea of being and gone, isn't it? If I've been somewhere, then I've come back. But here, we can see that Batman hasn't come back. He's not here. So, he's gone somewhere. but he hasn't come back. Not yet. A, not B. Next, number 5. Is it still raining? A, no, it's stopped. B, yes, it's been raining. And so we come to the final question. Question number 5. And hang on, look at that. The question is in the present continuous. Well, is that a problem? Well, no. We know that we can ask a question in one tense and receive a reply in another tense. Okay, so on we go. Which one is the correct answer? Yes, it's A once again, isn't it? Yes, and more to the point here, it isn't really a question of which form of the present perfect is the most appropriate, is it? No. Here, it's the fact that B is an answer to a different question. B is the answer to a question like, has it been raining? Not the answer to, is it still raining? So the only logical answer is A. Is it still raining? No, it's stopped. Now, yesterday we spoke about times when we can see differences between the present perfect simple and the present perfect continuous. And we saw that when we're talking about how much or how many of something, we can only use the present perfect simple. We can't say, for example, that I've been making 3 films this morning. No. We can use the present perfect simple to say that I've made 3 films this morning, but we can't use the present perfect continuous with a number. We can say how long something has been going on. We can say how long this activity has been going on. But if we want to say something about how much, how many, or how many times a completed action has taken place, then we have to use the present perfect simple, not the continuous. How long have you been reading that newspaper? Oh, I've been reading this old thing for 6 years. It's in Albanian. I can't read Albanian. How much of the newspaper do you understand? Not much. Only the pictures, really. I've been writing emails all day. How many have you written? 2.5. I'm learning Esperanto, but I haven't been learning it very long. I'm learning Esperanto too, but I haven't learned as much as my parrot yet. Okay, and there's something else we need to consider, something that we've seen before, but perhaps we need to refresh our memories. Do any of you remember the idea of a stative verb? Yes? No? No matter. A stative verb is a verb which describes a state, and because of that, we normally don't see these verbs used in any continuous tense. Other verbs, verbs which describe actions, we see in the continuous all the time. But when we're making a sentence with a stative verb, with a verb like the verb to know, or to like, or to believe, then we don't use the present perfect continuous. In fact, we don't use these verbs with continuous tenses at all. So this means that if we have a question about whether we should use the simple or continuous form of the present perfect, if the verb is the verb to love, or the verb to hate, or the verb to like, or the verb to know, or one of the other stative verbs, for example, belong, smell, taste, need, and there are lots more, then we know that we can't use the present perfect continuous or any other continuous tense. Okay, and now you're all thinking, but hang on, I've just seen an advert on telly.
I'm loving it.
Well, yes, but what I said before is still true, kids. The fact that an advert twists and distorts the English language doesn't make it correct. It just makes people stupid. Lenny Kravitz taught us that. And on that note, it's time for us to pack up and head off into the sunset. Well, no, not the sunset, but home. Home on the range, where the deer and the antelope play. Well, they might do that where you live, but not round our way. Round our way there are cars and a couple of birds and some dogs, but no deer. And I've never seen an antelope playing in the park. Okay, time for coffee. Have fun doing your stuff, and I'll see you all tomorrow. See you later. www.mediaclick.hu. Bye!